Moors. You know it's on, right? Straight to it. Peace and love to all the Muslims, all the Moors, all the different nationalities that tune in real time and in recorded time. You know it's lit, right? Yeah, you know it's lit. You know it's lit. Come on inside. You gonna definitely want to share this beam out. You gonna want to share this now. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, straight to it. Peace and love to all the Moors out there. You gonna want to share this one out. High honors and respect. Noble Drew Ali, the prophet. Who really rocking with the prophet and who ain't? Who really rocking with the prophet and who ain't rocking? I'll tell you one thing what the prophet said though. Noble Drew Ali I'm talking about. He said, I come before the fire. If you as a people don't get behind me, you will not make it through. Noble Drew Ali. That's what he was talking about. So it's a lot of schemers. It's a lot of schemers. If you got this book, Exhuming of a Nation, check out page 661, where it's talking about caveat emptor. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. It's lit. It's lit, fam. I got you. I'm on. Just DM me. DM me. I got you for the book. Caveat emptor. You know, you got Noble Drew Ali is the man because what he was talking about in the 1920s, you see it unfolding today. This is what Noble Drew Ali said about traitors. This is also, if you do study the teachings of Marcus Garvey Bay, you will see that Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali was rocking. They was rocking. They was on the same wave. You want to see something? Look. You want to see something? Watch this right here, fam. Ah, it's lit. It's lit. Share this beam out. Peace and love to all the Moors. It's lit. You got something like this. You got so many traitors. You got so many traitors out here, fam. And people waking up day by day. They waking up day by day. This is what the prophet Noble Drew Ali said. He said, they try and try. He talking about traitors. But their own bad planning brings down wrath upon their heads, like the sword old Damocles did. Intrigue and scurrilous cunnings find a difficult path to travel within the ranks of the Moors. This is so because the Moorish movement has been well planned by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Check it out. Whose latent powers are abundant, unknown, and may be called into action as a matter of defense at what? At any moment. So the powers that we have inside our genetic DNA are unknown and abundant. We can call these powers, Moors, into action at any moment as a matter of defense. So, you think the prophet wasn't well planned? You think he wasn't well planned? Hold up. You think that? Hold up. He also goes on to say, Prophet Noble Drew Ali knows the people within his ranks who are interested. They are vanguard of the movement as the Moorish hordes increase here in America. All of the Moors are active, not passive. Keep that in mind. Active, not passive. A member's interest can only be in one direction, and having traveled over the road years before the prophet knows where every member is along the road. Check it out. Watch this. Look, a few feet below is another road where schemers walk. Niggas be scheming. Niggas be plotting. Where traitors grin. and culprits bask in the sun. They think they are on the same road with true Moors, but the Moors are high above on a pinnacle where they might view the destructionists. He called them the destructionists as they fall for the last time and their bones bleach in the sultry midday sun. Hungry scavengers flying high, catch scent, devour and leave crying out, caveat emptor. Cast out the dead carcass. The Moors high above see the plot. See, we see the plotters, the schemers, the purveyors, the worst that exists, hurl themselves downward by their own works as the hawks wait. Peace and love to all the Moors. You see that right there? That is the Moorish flag. You got this dirty Moor. You got this dirty Moor out there named Rami. You got this dude out there. Reason why I say what I'm saying right now is because I'm gonna show you proof about what I'm talking about and how Noble Drew Ali was the man. This ain't just hearsay. This is actually gonna be something that the Prophet brought. Watch this right here. Try to see this in real time. Yo, look, man. People be doing it to themselves. This is why the Prophet put these lessons out. Caveat emptor. Here's the Prophet right here, Noble Drew Ali. Peace and love to all the Moors. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something. I want y'all to pay very close attention to something. Yeah, Moor. That right there, that's the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's his secretary. Pay attention to the details. See the books on the table? This is 1928, January 8th. Okay? Pay attention to the details. Because as they say, the devil is in the details. I want y'all to look at something. Bing bong. Look at the flags right there. Pay attention to these flags right here. That flag, the Moorish flag, see how it's on the left? Look at that flag right there. The flag of amity and commerce. The banner. It's on the right. It's upside down because it's symbolizing distress of a nation. That's why that star is upside down. When a flag is upside down, it's symbolizing the nation. That nation is in distress. And it's exactly, the Moorish flag is the first flag, and it's always the first, which means it's on the left. Not on the right, it's on the left. And it's the first flag because it's the first nation. This is a banner. Right. International signs of distress. Right and exact, more. But you see? So if the Prophet had the flag like that. Noble Drew Ali. Flag right there. Look at this. Noble Drew Ali again. The Moroccan flag. The Al Moroccan flag for the ones that get it twisted. The Moorish flag on the left. The banner, amity and commerce, is on the right. Huh? You see right here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Can't forget about the author of this book, my brother Jamal Talib Abdullah, Squirrelfoot Bay. Rise of the Moors. Can't forget about bro. Are You Confused About Law is the name of this literature. The truth about the so-called black man in the judicial system. This book right here is A1 Day 1. You need to get this in your library. Or at least get the PDF. Speak with Jalissa, my brother Jamal's wife. You could catch her, Rise of the Moabiters podcast on IG. DM her. Take care of your business. Get that literature. So you see something? So the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, this is the ones that everybody be talking, well, I follow the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You follow the teachings? So if you follow the teachings, that means you will be in sync with this right here. The Moorish flag is on the left. The Amazon Commerce flag is on the right, or the banner is on the right. That's the prophet right there with his secretary. Huh? There he is right there with another picture. Okay. Because why is that like that? Because we are part and parcel, Aboriginal and Indigenous. We are the host nation. Our flag goes on the left and or above the flagpole. When the Stars and Stripes banner is placed before our flag on the left or higher, it symbolizes occupation dominance. You can spot a Converso, a Morisco, or Dirty Moor by the order in which the American flag and the Star-Spangled Trading banner is placed. Whichever flag is on the left or higher on the flagpole, that flag is dominant and or the host nation, etc. You want to see something? You want to see something? I'm going to show y'all something that I just seen today. My brother Cujo did a beam out earlier today. Shout out to Moorish MC. Shout out to Canaanland Moors. Salam to all you Moors out there that hold it down. Let me turn this fan on. You want to see something? Watch this right here. We got visual aids. Visual aids. I want y'all to see something. Just like I seen it. See? Watch this, y'all. Try to see something. Let me flip this around. Watch this right here. Listen up. Listen.
You made it.
Hold up. Where you at? Let me go back. Watch this.
Still getting played. Uninstall the more. Uninstall the Moors worldwide. Honest to the Prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Honest to all the mothers.
Peace.
Honest to all the Moors who've been riding with Canaanland Moors from day one.
Yes, sir.
Honest to all of you who've been riding with Canaanland Moors since the jump.
Keep this in mind.
To all you who are going to be coming home.
Keep this in mind.
Peace and love to all the Moors. Honest to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honest to all mothers. Islam.
Islam Wars. Check this out. I want y'all to see some. Watch this, Moors.
The definition of hypocrisy, the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's...
Oh, and I forgot. Cush, you made it.
Watch this, y'all.
Cush Day, you made the list.
Watch this. This is funny. My brother Cujo swinging swords. This funny though.
This is from Cush Day. Now, I don't know this man. This man doesn't know me. I don't understand why Morris seem to want to talk so disrespectful. I don't understand it. I come with love. That's what I'm always talking about, love instead of hate. It says Rami whole act is deteriorating quicker than a cut can bleed. Give it up, traitor. I don't know. What am I a traitor of?
I'm finna prove it. I'm finna prove you a traitor.
The other stuff I don't really care about, but it's really like the dummy part.
Read the other stuff.
Yo, watch this, y'all.
How are you, a so-called GS, and don't know that North America is a continent?
Watch this, y'all.
Which includes so-called Canada, dummy. He didn't even go through all that.
Straight to it.
He didn't even go through all that. He went straight to dummy.
On God.
Hurt his feelings, yeah.
On God. Oh, his feelings hurt.
But the thing that the other stuff I don't really care about, but it's really like the dummy part. I said,
oh, he finna cry?
Why you gotta call me a dummy?
Oh, you finna cry? Hold up.
I didn't understand.
Pause right there. Pause right. Oh, okay. Look. Hold up. Let me see if y'all can see this. Wait, let me blow it up. Okay. Can y'all see what I see? You see that right there? Let me see if y'all can get it a little closer.
Where was this energy coming from? And then I found a picture of him.
Okay. This dude right here, right? I want y'all to pay close attention to that over there in the corner. Remember, we going by the teachings of the prophet Noble Drew Ali. See, this ain't about bashing. This is about cooking traitors. Because the traitors, if you going back to the literature of the prophet Noble Drew Ali, you see how calm he is? Cool. See, the truth, you ain't got to be all erratic and berserk. You just calm, and when you finna swing that sword and chop something off, you calm with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what time it is already. You got to know what you're looking at. So when the prophet said they try and try, but their own bad planning brings down wrath upon their heads like the sword old Damocles. See that? This Moorish movement is well planned by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You see? Nah, you come right here. You see this guy? You see this guy? What is that over there? What's that right there? Why, if he's saying he rep with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, why don't you have this on the left? Why do you have that on the left? You cooked. You cooked, G. You got this right here on the left. You ain't even got the Al Moroccan flag up. You don't even got this up. This is the Moorish flag. Hold up. What I got up? What I got on my wall? I got the Moorish flag on my wall. What's on your wall? What's that? What's that right there?
It's a beer bay, and then, we got some other things coming, but I said, oh, okay.
What is that right there? Y'all know what that is? Y'all know what that's called? First things first, though, you got to ask the question. Since the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, this is the teachings that we follow, that the prophet Noble Drew Ali left. These are the teachings. The Noble Drew Ali left symbols, signs, and he left literature and principles, divine and national. Why does this dude, Rami, this guy, why does he have a banner with a pirate, a black flag with a pirate with bones on there? You see how they always tell on themselves? See, this movement is well planned. This is what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said right here in Caveat Emptor. If you want to get cooked, you just gonna get deep fried. They try and try, but their own bad planning brings down wrath upon their heads. This guy brought my name up, and he said he's speaking for the prophet, the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. But you see that? Does that look like this? Does that look like that? What's that right there? This is what we repping. So when you talking about what's really going on, you see how these people try and try? They try and try and they fail all the time. They fall on their own sword. You fall on your own sword. Oh, but we ain't gonna stop right there though. We ain't gonna stop right there. What flag of the Moors, the Moorish nation, is that right there? What flag is that? How you saying you rep for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? See, we got to call traitors out. We got to start calling traitors out, and we got to hold them to that sword. period. You brought my name up. So you know you deep fried. But we going to do it with love, though. We going to do it with the principles, though. Because if you talking about the principles, hold up. You talking about the principles. Hold up. Pierce, Islam, more. You talking about the principles, then we got to go to the principles. See, this is what traitors get cooked at. Because you come out your neck wrong. And then you get chopped off. Because if you talking about keeping it how it's supposed to be kept, this is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This is the one that these dirty Moors be out here saying they follow. I follow the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Yeah, you do? Okay, because this is the divine constitution and bylaws. See? You going straight here to Act 5. What does Act 5 say? Act 5, written by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Keep this in mind. This ain't Cush Day words. This ain't nobody else's words but the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion. It's not to cause any confusion. So why does this guy, talking about this guy, why does he have a banner of a skull and bones pirate on his back, on his back of his background? Why don't you have the Moorish flag? Why don't you have this flag? Goofball. Why don't you have this flag? Because that's the Prophet right there. January 8th, 1928. You see how you got to know what you're reading? You causing confusion. So you are directly violating. You're directly violating, goofball, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Because you sold out. That's why you look like that. Your eyes are saggy, baggy. Your face is deteriorating. Your energy is all down. It's dead. Because you doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing, boy. You going against the divine constitution and the bylaws. Any one of these people out here that go against the divine constitution and bylaws written by the Prophet, what you think? Justice ain't gonna be served? Why you got a pirate flag in your background, but you got a fez on? This is why the Prophet said, be careful, Moors. It'll be your own that'll put you back in slavery. This guy got something known as the Jolly Roger. Oh, what's that? What's the Jolly Roger? What's the Jolly Roger? What's the Jolly Roger? Hold up. Y'all know what the Jolly Roger is? You ever heard of the Jolly Roger? Huh? You ever heard of the Jolly Roger? Let's go right here. You ever heard of the Jolly Roger? Webster's Dictionary and Thesaurus. You ever heard of the Jolly Roger? Let's go to it together. Let's go to it together. You ever heard of the Jolly Roger? Is it in there? Because this guy I'm talking about, he says he's a Moor, which he is, but he's a dirty Moor though. Because why would he have a pirate flag in his background? And the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, January 8th, 1928, he has this right here. So you saying that the Prophet was wrong? Do you see the Prophet with a black pirate flag on his left? So why is this guy had that? You see how they always tell on themselves? You let them talk long enough, they always gonna suicide themselves. Every time. Why do you have a pirate's banner in your background? Goofball. Because you a traitor. You a traitor. Plain and simple. You just told on your own self. Because according to the divine constitution and the bylaws written by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you're not to cause any confusion. So you don't think somebody that's new, a new Moor looking at you, and they see that you got a banner, a pirate's banner in your background, you don't think that will cause confusion? Goofball? Yeah, I know. You cooked. You cooked. Confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government but to obey hereby. Do it look like he's obeying? Do it look like he's obeying? Yeah, this guy right here. Do you see that? Do you see that right there? No, this banner right there, a pirate's banner. That's a pirate. That's a Skull and Bones pirate banner. Like this right here. Like this right here. Hold up. Like this right here. See this? Huh? You see that right there? Why would that guy have a picture of a pirate's banner in his background? Why wouldn't he have the flag that the prophet had? You know, the flag that represents a nation. What nation, what Moorish nation reps that? What Moorish nation reps this? Answer quick. Answer real quick. Answer that. What Moorish nation is that? But you got a fez on, though. Goofball. Yeah, he want to be down. He's a wanna be down type nigga. He's a wanna be down type nigga. That's who he is. Traitor. 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 So then he talked crazy about my brother Jamal and the rest of the Rise of the Moors. Shout out to Rise of the Moors. He called them terrorists. What did the prophet say about coming out your face against your own brothers and sisters? What did the prophet say about this? Now keep in mind, this ain't Cush Day's words. This Noble Drew Ali's words. He wrote this, the divine constitution and bylaws. You see, you keep caveat emptor in your mind. And these people don't even realize that this divine and national movement is a well-planned movement by the prophet. They try and they try to no avail, though. What the prophet say in Act 3? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. That's love. Not saying that, I follow the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You follow the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Yeah, but you got nerve and you got slander on your tongue to say that my brother Jamal and the rest of the Rise of the Moors, who got falsely, unconstitutionally held as prisoners of war, you got the nerve to say that they're terrorists. You going against what the prophet said. You keep talking about, I don't do nothing. I just talk love. No, you don't. Because you're in direct violation of what the prophet said in Act 3. You're not supposed to put in danger or accuse falsely your brother or sister on any occasion. Any occasion. How more specific do you got to get? Boy, right there. That's love. Because Allah is love. So even if you thought something that they did was wrong, you gonna go public and say a false accusation. And you keep saying false accusations. But you say, I follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. We're gonna let this right here stand as evidence on how you don't. On how you don't. We're gonna let this stand as evidence how you don't. Because you already in violation of Act 3. You falsely accuse your own brothers and sisters several times, and you continue to violate the divine constitution and bylaws because you don't love the prophet, and you don't love the teachings of the prophet, and you don't love your brothers and sisters like you pretend to do. But you talk a good one, though, to somebody that don't know. So you saying cause confusion. You don't. So hold up. Remember how I said about the Jolly Rancher? That's an actual term of a banner. It's called the Jolly. No, not Jolly Rancher. Excuse me. Jolly Roger. Here it is. Here it is. Hold up. You want to see it? Hold up. Here it is. Here it is right here. Here it is. It said Jolly Roger. That's an actual flag. This guy right here got it. Walk the plank. Need to walk the plank. Traitors, fam. These is traitors. What's that right there? Hold up. Let me throw a little ink on this. Let me throw a little ink on that. I want y'all to see this clear as day. Jolly Roger. Say my words. New World Dictionary. 3rd edition. Jolly Roger. Keep in mind, this guy right here. This guy. See that guy? That guy. See that banner right there? What Moorish nation is that? Because according to the definition, I got you more. According to the definition, Jolly Roger, Jolly plus Roger is a pirate flag. A black flag of pirates with white skull and crossbones. Bing bong. You got that in your background. But you said that you follow the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali does not have a pirate flag in his background. He has the Moorish flag. Bing bong, clear as day. So why do you say you rep for the Moorish divine and national movement, but in your background, you got a pirate flag? What Moorish nation is the pirate flag, goofball? Because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he got this right here. Why do you have this right here? See that right there? That look like the same Moorish flag that I got. Got the Jamaican joint, got the Cuban joint, got the Bayesian joint. I ain't got no pirate flag hanging behind me talking about I rep for Noble Drew Ali. I rep for the divine and national movement. What are you talking about? Let me know where y'all tuning in from and share this beam out. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. Peace and love to all the Muslims. Peace and love to all the different nationalities. Cook them. Cook them. The Jolly Roger is a real term. Jolly Roger. A black flag of pirates with white skull and crossbones. His motivation for being a traitor? You gotta ask him that more. You gotta ask him that. You gotta ask this guy. You gotta ask this guy. Queens in the building. NYC in the building. Canaanland in the building. Yes, sir. Respect. Wagwan. NYC in the building. See that? The Jolly Roger. Why does this guy, Cleveland in the building, why does this guy have the Jolly Roger in his background? Shout out to Vegas. Shout out to Southwest Cali. Why does he have the Jolly Roger in the background? Shout out to the Rack, Florida. Jolly Roger. This is just one book. Hold up. See the Jolly Roger? This is one book. Why does that guy have the Pirates flag in his background? Shout out to Houston. BX in the building. Why does he have that in the background? I'm talking about Rami Salam El. Why does he have the Pirates banner in the background? This book right here go hard. It's talking about Moors in this book too. It's talking about how Moors was robbing Europeans all on the Mediterranean. I'm talking about everywhere. They was robbing Europeans all over the Mediterranean. Pick up this book too right here. The Crescent Obscured. Get this book in your life. This book go hard. It's talking about see how they on the ocean, on the waters, robbing all Europeans that was on the water, robbing their own people too. Like I said, Moorish history is vast. It wasn't all good. It wasn't all good, G. It was a lot of bad things that we did. A lot. It wasn't all peach and ice cream. Nah, it wasn't all that. But see, this is when you got to start calling traitors out, though. See, you got to start calling traitors out. You know, we was talking about the Jolly Roger. Here it is right here. Hold up. Let me get this ink on here. Let me get some ink on there. What that say right there? Remember, these ain't Cush Day words. Scott Forsman Advanced Dictionary. Huh? What that say? Jolly Roger. A pirate's black flag with a white skull and crossbones on it. Black flag. Blackjack. Black flag. Blackjack. Keep that in mind. You see, Noble Drew Ali was the man. He's still the man because energy never dies. It just transfers. The prophet said, they try and they try. They try and they try. So why is this guy have a pirate's flag in his background? Answer that.
Connected with the guy up in Canada.
This guy.
They have an issue with me because I'm speaking about certain things. I get it. You know what I mean? But this is the thing I want to tell Cush Day and, other Moors that you may disagree with me or disagree with other people. You ain't got to be disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's not.
Do you hear this guy talking, man? Do you hear this guy talking? Explain to the people why you have a pirate's flag called a Jolly Roger in your background. Why do you have a Jolly Roger black flag for pirates with a white skull and crossbones in your background, goofball? Because you a traitor. That's why. You a traitor. It ain't about what you feel. It's about what it is. And what it is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. See him right there? January 8th, 1928. See that? He got the Moorish flag, clear as day for everybody to see in his picture. That's the Moorish flag. On the left, symbolizing the first nation. Huh? Remember, you can always spot these conversos because they don't put the Moorish flag first. They put something else on there first. They might put that first. This is how you spot these Moriscos, these traitors. Huh? So you trying to say that you follow the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? If you did, then why do you, goofball, why do you have a pirate's flag in your background? You ain't even got a Moorish nothing in your background. Where is it at? Where is that? What you got? You got 7 right there in your background. Okay. You got the number 7 in your background. Okay. But why do you have a pirate's flag in your background, goofball? Why you got that for? Because according to the prophet, he said in his divine constitution and bylaws, you're not to cause any confusion. So if you thinking a new Moor might see your videos, where the tassel at? Yeah, that's a great question, Moor. Where is his tassel at? Who is this guy? So you saying somebody cook him. Somebody tell me how this guy got a picture of a Jolly Roger pirate flag in his background. But he's saying he repping for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish nation. He repping. How you repping when you got this in your background? Goofball. a Jolly Roger. Huh? You see how they always use our own people? They is the dark side, the dark forces, dark magicians. They will use our own people to play us. They will use our own people to sell us out. This is what the prophet saw when he wrote Caveat Emptor. This is what Marcus Garvey was. This is what he saw when he started talking about traitors. He started talking about, this is Marcus Garvey. You got a lot of people out here saying that they Garveyites. Okay, you a Garveyite. Okay, but Garvey spoke about traitors as well as speaking about nation building. You don't think so? If you don't think so, this book right here, you should throw it in your library. It'll give you a little clarity on Marcus Garvey. Because Marcus Garvey was talking about education. He was talking about nationhood. Nationhood is the only means by which modern civilization can completely protect itself. Islam to the Moors. Independence of nationality, independence of government is the means of protecting not only the individual, but the group. Nationhood is the highest ideal of all peoples. All peoples. It didn't say nothing about just our people as Moors. It said all peoples. Because the prophet was a universal prophet. Man, you think the prophet didn't know what he was talking about? You think Marcus Garvey didn't know what he was talking about? Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali was rocking with it. They was rocking with the science. They was rocking with the science. Traitors got up in the mix though, even inside the temples. You see? See that right there? See that? Marcus Garvey said, I believe we are more encumbered in this way than any other race in the world because of the lack of training and preparation for fitting us our own place in the world among nations and races. The traitor of other races, check this out, Marcus Garvey. The traitor of other races is generally confined to the mediocre or irresponsible individual. But unfortunately, the traitors among the Negro race, so-called Negro race, are generally to be found among the men highest placed in education and society. Damn, that ain't the truth. The fellows who call themselves leaders. Oh my God. Oh my, this is why I said, fam. Somebody out here calling themselves a leader, watch them. Watch them. Man or woman. What you say, a solve nothing opportunist. What's on your wall? Peace and love to all the Moors. What's on your wall? Is that on your wall? Is that in your car? Let me know. Let your peoples know. If you really repping for the divine and national movement, is that right there? Is that what you repping? Or you repping the Jolly Roger? This dude out here repping the Jolly Roger, talk about he with the prophet. He with the teachings of the prophet. And he got the Jolly Roger, a pirate's flag, in the background. You got a pirate's flag in the background, bumping your gums about Allah, love, you for peace, you for our people. Why you got a Jolly Roger pirate flag in your background, goofball? Explain that. Because you a traitor. Plain as day. You're a traitor. If you was ready repping for the Moors, why wouldn't you have this? So somebody that's new, that's coming into this Moorish information, why wouldn't they see the first thing that they see that you repping will be that? Exactly what the prophet was repping. Why would you be saying you saying what you saying, you got a fair zone, but then you saying you repping for the divine and national movement? So when somebody new see that, That's a direct violation of Act 5. Huh? That's a direct violation of Act 5, written by the prophet, the divine constitution and bylaws. What they say right there? This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion. You don't think that's confusing? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? This dude, this guy, yeah, that guy, he got a picture of Martin Luther King in the background and a pirate's flag. Why don't this guy have a picture of Noble Drew Ali in your background, or El Haj Malik El Shabazz in your background, or why you ain't got a picture of Marcus Garvey in your background? You got MLK and a pirate's flag. Goofball. But you repping for the prophet. No, sir. How you repping for the prophet? How, Sway? He don't see. This is why the prophet said what he said. These people, in caveat emptor. Peace and love to all the Moors that hold it down. Peace to all the Moors that study. All the nationalities that study. Because the prophet gave a divine warning. A divine warning. He said, I love my people and I desire their unity and mine back to their own free national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. This guy, what nation is the pirate flag belong to? You want to answer that?
Cool, it's not noble, it's not righteous.
No, nothing you're doing is noble. Nothing you're saying is righteous. Look at you. Look at you. Nothing you say or do is righteous. Actually, you in direct violation of something righteous. You in direct violation of something noble, because you got a pirate Jolly Rancher flag on your background. Goofball. What are you talking about, man? There isn't but one supreme issue for my people to use to redeem that which was lost. And that is through the above statements. Proclaim your nationality. This guy, look at him. What is he talking about? He lost for words. I don't know what is he? What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? He don't even know what he doing. He don't even know. Yeah. This is why caveat emptor is crucial. Look. Crucial. What it say? What it say? They try and try. You try, but you fail, goofball, because you got bad planning. You got bad planning. What you think the prophet didn't well plan this? Peace. You think the prophet didn't well plan this? Goofy? The latent powers are abundant, unknown, and may be called into action as a matter of defense. This is the defense mechanism. You kicked it off. You know sword coming to swing. We chopping everything off. You know why? Because it's that time now. It's the rise of the Moors right now. It's the rise of the Moors right now, fam. New Moors is already coming in with their eyes already open. Ain't nobody coming in talking about, well, we gonna treat you like, well, you know, you didn't do nothing wrong. No, sir. We own you. We own you. We own you. So if you fraudulent, you getting called out. Moors own you. You a fraud out here, we own you. And I ain't just talking about myself. I'm talking about the Moors coming in and the Moors already with their eyes already open. The code is already getting wiped out. The code getting wiped out. Code is getting wiped out them eyes now. So if you out here being fraudulent, directly violating what the prophet brought, what you think? Justice ain't gonna be served? On this soul, on this plane, or the other soul, or the soul plane? What you thought? What you thought? What you thought? So I guess you think that what you doing on this plane is gonna be not looked at as being judged by Allah. Because if you say you following the teachings of the prophet, which you say constantly out your mouth, you say it out your mouth like, I'm following the teaching of the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Yeah, you following the teachings, then why you got a pirate, Jolly Roger pirate banner in your background? What are you talking about? That's confusion. That's confusion. Goofy, you see that? Oh, I know. What you saying?
Big dummy.
Big dummy. Dummy.
You big dummy.
Yo, you gotta laugh at some of these goofies, man. Straight up. That was my brother Cool Joe. Canaanland Moors. You should check Canaanland Moors out. If you're not already following Canaanland Moors, follow Canaanland Moors, the Moorish MC, and the rest of the Canaanland Moors out there in Canada. Big dummy. You gonna lose, man. You gonna lose. You're gonna lose. You gonna get cooked. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the man, is the man, and forever will be. Because what he was bringing was so ahead of his time. Because time never was when man was not. That's why everything coincides right in the now. Because it's always flowing. Act 3, Act 5. Somebody's in direct violation of just those two. You running your mouth falsely accusing your brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister. You ain't supposed to do none of that. But you running your mouth though. You calling my brother Jamal and the rest of the rising of the Moors some terrorists. Okay, explain this to me. You say you talking about Romney right now. First of all, you messed up because you got Jolly Roger, a pirate banner flag in your background. What are you doing? Then you say another false accusation, like the other dirty Moors be out here saying that Rise of the Moors broke some laws. Where? What laws they break? You can't say they broke having firearms. Second Amendment. You can't use that. Second Amendment. The right to a well-regulated militia. What are you saying? A well-regulated militia? What are you saying? Huh? The right to keep and bear arms. Second Amendment. 10 Bill of Rights. What are you saying? That's why I said, you gotta watch these ones out here talking about, I follow the teachings of the prophet. I got a fez on. I got a turban on. What they words saying and what they deeds move like. Huh?
Or accuse falsely his brother or sister.
Hold up.
Gentle
Oh, we got more. Hold up.
Manipulate you into thinking he is correct in what he is saying about rise of the Moors. All while saying, it has to be true. I can't be hypocritical.
Yeah, hold up. Hold up.
You into thinking he is correct in what he is saying about rise of the Moors. All while saying,
there he is right there again. Now you see, if you couldn't see before, what is that in his background? Why does he have that in his background? See, he got the fez on, but he got that in his background. Why is that there? If you say, again, You follow what the prophet brought. Do the prophet got this in his background? Do any more that you know that's upright, independent, and fearless and studying the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Do they have this in their background? No, sir. Did the prophet have this in his background? No, sir. What's that? That's the prophet right there. January 8th, 1928. Secretary right there in the corner. The prophet sitting there cool, calm, and collective. Books on the table. The first nation that you see is the Moorish nation. That's the first thing you see. Goofball. Do you see this right here? No, sir. You see this. The Moorish nation. Followed by the Star Spangled Banner. This guy. Why do you have the Jolly Roger? That's what it's called. It's called the Jolly Roger. I don't have time to make nothing up. I don't have time to make anything up. You call me out, goofy. So you know what it is already. If you didn't, you know now. Ether bomb you. Jolly Roger. Jolly plus Roger pirate flag. A black flag. Pay attention to the description of the Jolly Roger. We ain't got time to make nothing up, just to make something up. Evidence. A black flag of pirates with white skull and crossbones. Let me know if it match. What's that? Let me know. You let me know if it match. Black flag, pirates, white skull, crossbones. Let me know if that match. Let me know if that description matches this. There's Rami. There's what he has in his background. Why does he have this in his background? Black flag, white bones. Black flag with white skull and crossbones. It's called the Jolly Roger. This guy, why do you have that in your background if you say you rocking with the prophet? Because as Marcus Garvey called you, and everybody that do what you do, he called you a traitor. Traitors. That's why you got it in your background. Because you're a traitor. And everybody that rock like you rocking. Traitors. You know what it is, but you still violate what the prophet brought. Because you think like, people that's new, they ain't really gonna know what I'm talking about, so I could get away with it. No, sir. You ain't getting away with nothing. Jamaican flag right there. Underneath that flag is the Cuban flag. There you right there. See that right there? Huh? See that right there? Barbados. It's Barbados. See that flag right there? It's the Moroccan flag. The Al Moroccan flag. The Al Moroccan Empire. Empire. Or the Al Moroccan Kingdom on the other side. Ask y'all out there, what nation is that this guy is repping? Huh? Rami Salam El calls himself a Grand Sheikh. So why don't you have the same Moorish flag as the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has right here? Why do you have a pirate's banner, a Jolly Roger, in your background, goofball? But you said you was going with the prophet and what the prophet was teaching. Yeah, you did? So why are you violating Act 3 and Act 5? Because you sure is confusing people. There's my time. Case already proved. Peace and love to all the Moors. What's on your wall? The Al Moroccan flag, the Moorish American flag, the Moorish flag. I self-law and master. Peace, Moors. Study, 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 y'all. Much love all the time. Islam.
Yo, we live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. One nation, one God, indivisible. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. One nation, one God, indivisible. Yo, bringing forth light through the dark. That's the first thing that Drew Ali taught. You're a divine being, can't be sold, no be bought. Like a star, all caps like a corporation. You're a star off the charts from the constellations. This is serious, B. We gotta save a nation, no procrastination. Pick up the GS and task to Riku teachers. Knowledge itself, not paperwork, gon' free us. Rahul Nefer, I'm in the real middle, little purist. And a email bait, one of the truest to ever do this. Middle finger to you conscious fucks that turn Judas. Criminal minded, took a lifetime to kill this. The lies of my eyes, that's what the wisdom of the womb is. The wisdom of the womb is what the ultimate truth is. Horus watching your actions, don't care who knew this. Manetta is peace, Islam like a Buddhist.
10 lies, 5 principles to eliminate the flaws, align the individual. This is effect of the cause, complex but so simple. Take a pause, take in the instrumental. Things coincide, nothing coincidental. No mistakes, nothing accidental. Occupy the space, we call it the temple. Open up the safe, give them what's essential. If they violate fingernails and the dentals, ain't leaving no trace. Elements are fundamentals. Apply the law of attraction. What you do has an opposite or equal reaction. The end set, plans ain't shit without actions.
Five principles, these articles, really outstanding, laws answerable, immutable, and all constitutional by law. These laws civil, 5 principles, 10 articles, enforceable, official, so official, and all constitutional by law. Single prints, my seal be my thumb fingerprint. Red ink stamp, shut down the Big Bang. 10 plus 7 articles, that's it, man. The dumb don't get it, the sun gon' set, gon' be a big bang. I'm more beautiful, that's a good thing. God has a trust, y'all wanna buck, cough up some red shoes. Y'all wanna bless fool with a hood wig. Make the skin chubby leather, trying to be something you can never. Black's dead necro, I'm a full of life spectrum. Whistleblower, loud of prana, death before dishonor. You're not a man, you an iguana. Who said we're not in Africa? Look up, Gonzwana. But don't wanna cuss, let them go on, y'all. Learn your unalienables. Tell you more, but it's unbelievable.
We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. One nation, one God, indivisible. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. Initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles. One nation, one God, indivisible.
Principles, get your conduct straight, crocodile back. Divine law violators won't give a smile back, much less a nod. When I hail up, they screw face up. So dead like Harvey has their 2 faces up. Trust less, cause trust more is left for worthy. No principles but justice, for the ones that's dirty. Planes correspond from matter to energy. Swimming in the sub-realms for mental and spirit affinity. Vibrating cause light and heat magneticity. From the lower mind to the higher mind, breast simplicity. The rules, the capacity for pain and pleasure is so balanced. You can cause an imbalance, never y'all taking chances on rappers. I move with law and order. Outside and independent of all is chaos, disorder. Cause the root of everything that happens or doesn't. Denying effect means the law is repugnant. Elevation stunted, even drunk or blunted. Will have you misdirected by the false pundits. Trying to hit a grand slam where you should have bunted. Spiritual abundance, keep demons dungeon.
That spooky shit's not mystical. The boogeyman you fear is invisible. The cookie that you smoke's not original. The pussy said this stroking is minuscule. The God in the flesh, indivisible. For now, that's why it's called individual. Can't divide it to in disguise a criminal. Y'all about, but I'm cynical. Invincible among bare minimals, maximizing 10 laws, 5 principles. That's the guy that comes with no shittable, no fucks, facts around facts, centrifugal, mass reach a critical, peeling the pineal, back reach the pinnacle, sealing the deal with no ceiling, no floor, while I ridicule the charming snakes that limit you and christen you.
We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, one nation, one God, indivisible. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, initiation, meditate, divine rituals. We live by 10 laws, 5 principles, one nation, one God, indivisible.
Read off we pay every day. Uplift the fee cause we all pays. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before is still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws ain't more race. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules are first. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespecting earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X, do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the highest authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Coffee, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stare and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the Moorish government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? Offense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmeccan features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty mortals and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point. Spirit messages never off. Inner realizations, encounter the higher selves. Next plane existence explains my consistence. Without a foe, you never know, so past most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress, metaphysic, Kabbalistic, Almaroc mystic, patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic, so indigenous, call me Americanistic, invoking the ancestors, Saracen cryptic, suns on rotation, flows ecliptic, shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic, sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous, recognize the artifice. Skin so carbonous, hair so antenna. I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons in reptilian henna. Enlightenment seekers won't find it in mainstream. Focus as a laser, stay balanced like a beam. Not even a gymnast. Whenever I flip this, as above, so below, get out when within this. Don't think I'm a slave cause I speak in English. Drew, I'll leave the water, watch your flames get extinguished. Living in your higher, lower self is relinquished. Reputation of master teachers, call it distinguished.
Sheep, Canaanland, Moorish, release for Shalon Davis, look, house, check it. They say they wanna learn, they only debate. Referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound great. Study nationality before you question my estate. I'm not a minority, why you so late? Majority rules, here comes the test. Fact, that's my hand in the form of a C on the chest. That's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a force that is easy to digest. Competent, never territorious. That is my land, never vacant. Sacred traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. If you please more, following the apostle, we should read more. I see the unseen more, we more. That's a fact. Canaanland.
They say they want to learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling hotter when the bottles are uncorked. Eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning. Eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got him cocooning. As the full moon hung, spiral energy moving. Up through the crown chakra, energy shooting. And told me upload classes before live YouTubing. 16,000 subscribers, 20% consuming. 80% troll pretending to be tuned in. Comment on every video, pushing the thumbs down. We'll push the link when we're live just like a clown. Pouring in the incompetence, always debating. Dissing Drew Ali but won't give the location. His image on the black banner, that's placation. Just get him out of here, Yusuf yells in frustration. We know they're playing games, we're not berating. Calling 911, scimitars penetrating. In defense of prophets and mothers abused. And newly awakened Moors, amused and confused.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Case Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, they ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Case Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, they ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil little of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no door, I lay in plain sight. But people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astral plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finish him.
Moorish or key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critical.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Case Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, they ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil little of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no door, I lay in plain sight. But people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astral plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finish him.
Moorish or key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. They are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like we're prejudiced, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pole magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book, all maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no veiled shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Mark tried. Mark tried. Unfortunately, Mark tried. It's real crazy. Mark tried. We'll give him that, he tried. Subject matter. Jesus means justice. Mark Savoia. 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 Mark. Mark's question. If Drew Ali, prophet of Allah, established a godly government that mirrors the pattern of the godly government that was established by Jesus Christ and the apostles, and he prepared the circle 7, that is mostly about Jesus Christ, and the Quran calls Jesus Christ the Messiah who was actually sent to the children of Israel, where does the concept of Jesus means justice come from? Because the Quran, Drew Ali, and the theocracy of the MSTA all point to the fact of Jesus being a divine being who taught people the principles of heavenly government. To dismiss Jesus Christ through Jedi mind tricks. Therefore, studying Jesus Christ reveals the mind of Drew Ali and the way to heal our nation. Our foundation is Jesus Christ. That rock was Christ. I Corinthians. And then carries on. Where does the concept of Jesus means justice come from? Clock of destiny? Masons? Not divine prophets. I am not talking about the etymology of Jesus' name. I am talking about the principles of divine government and the fact that our nation is not following the divine pattern, and the reason is because people are caught up in the Masonic mumbo jumbo. I sent him the reply 8 hours ago. We'll deal with your BS in the live later. I see you in Rami's chat and the other traders' chat. You're no different than them, but I will address your question later this evening. So here we are. PeaceTheology.net. Jesus and Justice. This is chapter 6 in a book, Healing Justice, an agenda of restoring wholeness. In the Christian tradition, justice is often seen as something far removed from Jesus' life and teachings. Influential theologian Reinhold Niebuhr famously wrote of Jesus providing our ideals the impossible possibility of loving our neighbors and forgiving 70 times 7. However, when we enter the real world of politics and the balancing of egos that the political process necessarily involves, the best way we can hope for is a kind of rough justice. This kind of justice finds its sources not in the message of Jesus, but in the common sense of power struggles, coercion, and necessary violence and punishment. Niebuhr's reflections were filled with wisdom, especially when he challenged socio-political absolutisms that fostered holy wars and a loss of awareness of one's selfishness and pride. If we read the Gospels through the lens of restorative rather than contributive justice, we see that Jesus' message, in fact, has a close connection, not a stance of tension with justice. Remember, this is not Moorish talking. Right? Remember, this is not Morris talking. Luke 19. Jesus at the temple. When Jesus entered the temple courts, he began to drive out those who were selling. It is written, he said to them, "My house will be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers." Every day he was teaching at the temple, but the chief priests and teachers of the law and leaders among the people were trying to kill him. Yet they could not find any way to do it because all the people hung on his words. All the people hung on his words. One day, as Jesus was teaching the people in the temple courts and proclaiming the good news, the chief priests and the teachers of the law, together with the elders, came upon him. "Tell us by what authority you are doing these things," he said. "Who gave you this authority?" He replied, "I will also ask you a question. Tell me, John's baptism, was it from heaven or of human origin?" They discussed it amongst themselves and said, "If we say from heaven, we will ask, why didn't you believe him? But if we say of human origin, all the people will stone us, because they are persuaded that John was a prophet." So they answered, "We don't know where it was from." Why? Because Jesus laid justice down. How is Jesus not justice? We're not even talking Noble Drew Ali right now. We're not even talking Moors right now. We're talking going to these people's Bible and all that stuff. Going to their Bible. This is what you want? This is what you want us to do? We got to study this stuff to find out who Jesus is? Okay, let's study this stuff to find out who Jesus is. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. He replied, "I will ask you a question. Tell me, John's baptism, was it from heaven or of human origin? But if we say of human origin, all the people will stone us." You worry about some European or whatever? It's your own selling you out. Didn't he tell you? Didn't he freaking tell you? How is it that you're not making it out? Let me tell you. The chief priests, the teachers of the law, the leaders, all of them sold out. And then while they're in the temple doing BS, he's there teaching every day, showing them the right way. How is that not justice? How is it not justice? Justice and Jesus. International Social Justice Commission, Salvation Army. Remember, we're not talking about Moors right now. Just keep in mind, we're not talking about Moors right now. Just keep that in mind. 2011, if you've been telling people, ask Moors dumb stuff. All right, answer your dumb stuff. We'll answer your dumb stuff. You want to play smart. Play around with Moors who study. You don't play those games with all those backwards ass Moors that you have online that you're accustomed to. You play that BS with them. Man, we don't need Noble Drew Ali stuff to prove the stuff. The hell are you talking about? If Noble Drew Ali is a universal prophet, then there must be other stuff that are in harmony with him. We don't even need Noble Drew Ali to figure this stuff out. Just go study your own stuff. I don't read the Bible and the Quran and all that stuff. I don't read that stuff. All I read is my Quran, and that's it. If I need to go to the Bible for something, just to do it exactly what I'm doing right now, and then won't pick it up again because I don't read that stuff. What are you reading that for? Me. That's just me. You know what I mean? Moore's gonna do whatever to do is their birthright. My birthright, I don't need to read those stuff. Especially if it's some version of recent. What the hell am I reading that for? I never reference these things because I personally don't need it. I don't need Bibles and Qurans and all that stuff. I just want to know what Juali brought, and everything else is going to fall into place. So this is Salvation Army now. This is a Salvation Army thinks about Jesus and justice. This is the conclusion of their commission, whatever, with regard to Jesus and justice. Why is Salvation Army doing some commission, whatever, and then putting out a statement with regard to social justice about conclusion? What can we conclude? Jesus lived right. Righteous was his way of life. He related to others with aspirations for their spiritual well-being. Jesus also repeatedly righted wrongs. Jesus' vision for justice for the vulnerable drove his intent and guided his practice. In his teaching and in his living, Jesus created opportunities for people whose plight in life was curtailed by life-denying forces. Jesus' life is a demonstration of how to live and love. Jesus incarnated intentional love. He demonstrated willful, purposeful, and creative love. Love for God, self, neighbor, truth, righteousness, and justice. Jesus envisioned what didn't yet exist. He championed freedom from oppression, justice, discrimination, exclusion, inequity, poverty, sin, and injustice. In Jesus' code, to love is to be just. To be just is to love. And when we claim to follow Jesus, we are disciples of justice. In Jesus' code, to love is to be just. To be just is to love. And when we claim to follow Jesus, we are disciples of justice. For all you Jesus-loving people out there. All you Jesus-loving people. You want to talk crazy about Moors because our Quran has Jesus and all that stuff. Jesus' mission on earth in his time is our mission on earth in our time. In worship, there is a question and response that is sometimes asked, which merits the final word in this series on just Jesus and justice. Question: will you strive for justice and peace among all people and respect the dignity of every human being? Response: we will, with God's help. This is a damn Salvation Army. So know that what Moors present isn't something to look at. The Moors said that. No, we didn't. The world knows what we know. The world knows what Moors know. And if you haven't talked to the world, please don't be making comments. Please don't be sending DMs if you haven't talked to the world. Because to really digest this nationality and birthrights, you have to. You have to do what Drew Ali said in the Quran. Know yourself. Before you talk about anything else, you get excited because you heard something and you got awakened. And You gotta slow down. The international community is very well aware about who we are. Right? CBM. Some more church people. This is what they know. This is what they know. Jesus is the justice of God. How is Jesus not mean justice? How? If Jesus is the justice of God, then God is omnipresent, omnipotent, all-knowing, all-seeing, and he set that in order that Jesus is just. Then how is, or are these people actually going against God? Yahweh, Allah, whatever you want to call it. What you want to call the higher force, the supreme force, whatever you want to call that. Whatever the name is, you don't care. But if that sent Jesus as justice on earth, then they're going against that. Talking about Jesus doesn't mean justice. So now we could go now. Now, after we showed you all these people who already know what's up, now we can go to Juali now and show you where he said in his literature for the Moors, what does the name Jesus mean? Jesus means justice. It was a reference point. It was a paradigm shift. Because one of the principles of the Moors is justice. So we honor Ali, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, Jesus. And then there's 5 principles. And Juali is love. And then if Jesus is justice, so which prophets fill in the other 3? Juali had everything lined up. The 5 principles are the prophets. Jesus is justice. Noble Juali is love. And then the other 3. Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad. Then slot those in. And then you unlock. Then you have an unlock. And then another avenue opens up for you to go deeper in the knowledge. So every one of them that you go down, 1 to 101, all of them are a reference point that you go check. You're gonna get more stuff than No wonder he only gave you 2 little books. Because people think he was nuts. He was nuts. What do you mean we have to read all these books or whatever like that? Oh no, we have to read all these books to be Moors? Not just these 2 little books right here. Just read these. Oh, angel, what's that? Look that up. Thought, what's that? Look that up. Child, what's that? Look that up. Holy, slave, so what is it? And then the more you put it together, the more is opened up. The Jewel is a mastermind. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He absolutely knew what he was doing. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. It's getting crazy now. Like if you're not seeing now that stuff is done, this is all you have left. This is gonna save you. These ones. These are the ones that's gonna save you.
So now we have the Clock of Destiny, Great Seal, is connected with Alim El Bey and Cujo, all connected. But it gets deeper. And I got to show you this part because I don't want you to just believe me, okay? I want you to look carefully. Okay, I'm going to put that up carefully. Can you see? Oh, shoot. Let me get that right. There we go. Can you see that Noble Drew Ali there? I'm trying to get that in the screen. It says Noble Drew Ali. And if you look carefully, it has a semicolon, right? Right, semicolon, full colon. Full colon, I think. Yeah. Right after Noble, and then Drew Ali is hyphenated. Now, why is that important, Rami? What are you talking about, Rami? What is the importance of that? Well, hold on. I have something for you, and I want to share my screen, if that's all right. Boom. Okay. And then we just going to do that there so you can get a good view. Bam. Now, this is from Wikipedia. David Wynn Miller. David Wynn Miller is a European brother, and he's identified as, one of these founders in these schemes, sovereign citizen schemes. Now, what's particular about David Wynn Miller, if you see here, he created his whole fictional language. And it says, after creating his language, Miller began styling his name as David dash Wynn full colon Miller. Okay? David dash Wynn full colon Miller, claiming that the punctuation marks are hieroglyphics that make him life, and that without them, his name is 2 adjectives and a pronoun.
No, it's BS. The full colon, hyphen, whatever like that, putting all that stuff in the names or whatever like that is BS. We know that it's BS. We know that. We know this. But to fine-tooth comb, and that's all you're pulling out? To say that we shouldn't look at this more as credible? That's it? He put a full colon and a hyphen on Noble Drew Ali, so he's a traitor, don't listen to anything that he says? Get the hell out of here. We know that that's BS. We know it's BS. No doubt in our mind that it's BS. So You're not going to pull that one to try to make us look at Dr. Alim El-Bey and Kadira El-Bey as they're some traitors or some sellouts or something. It's not going down like that. It's not going down like that. You might be able to pull that stuff on the dummies out here who don't study. Right? You want to play the dummies who don't study, that's fine. Try to play those ones. Don't try to play those ones.
To have you on, we're kind of, Cujo and I right now have got into Marcus Garvey, went all the way through. Cujo kind of broke down individuals that went off on the offshoot, talking about Farad Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad on the offshoot, not teaching the divine rights of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and incorporated, incorporated. Wait, don't turn off your camera, Cujo. Let's put that thing back on. And
I'll be back. I'm just stepping away.
And we got to the point where you know, he just went through the individuals that backstabbed Drew Ali and didn't do so forth, and how there became a grand sheik, which was honored by Drew Ali to fulfill his duties. After, you know, who was supposed to be the successor. We talked about a couple of court cases now, and we were bringing in the Nation of Islam, the RGB movement, and so forth. And we've covered a lot, and I would like to hear some more information that you feel is pertinent for bringing our people from the Marcus Garvey group, from the Nation of Islam, even out there the free radical Moors, and under the Moorish Science Temple, to bringing us back together. What would you like to add to this conversation, my brother?
Right. Well, by 1929, Noble Drew Ali had created a multi-million-dollar empire, and so there was jealousy, you know, amongst the so-called rank of the Moorish Science Temple of America, especially among the high-level businessmen. And one of the officers was Sheikh Claude Green Bay,
okay, all
right, who accused Prophet Noble Drew Ali of wasting MSTA revenue on himself and the succession of women. Now, Noble Drew Ali's wife, who was Pearl Drew Ali, Claude Green, had a crush on her. He crushed her. You know what I'm saying? And it was alleged that he and her had an affair. Right? So this is where a lot of this begins to start kicking in at. And I don't know if y'all ever seen the picture. It was from January the 8th, 1928, in which it shows you the Moroccan flag upside down, and then also the United States banner.
Yes.
Turned towards the left, and then he's looking real harsh at Pearl Drew Ali. And it was in the headquarters at Unity Hall's headquarters in the office. You know, and he's giving it that look. Now, you know, what we find out is that Moroccan flag inverted, and then that United States banner facing the opposite way, this all symbolizes distress. Yes. You know, so there was distress, and that's what that picture was showing. You know, so this is just some of this that was going on, and who was in court, or with Claude Green Bay, you know, in cahoots, I should say, with Claude Green Bay was Lomax Bey, who was the Supreme Grand Governor at the time over Detroit Temple No. 4, which was located at 1423 Illinois Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. Now, the strange thing about that is that after Lomax left the United States because of everything which that was going on with the MSTA, David Ford L., who is known as Masfar Muhammad later on, and Elijah Muhammad, they turned that particular Temple No. 4 into the first Allah's Temple of Islam, which becomes later on the Nation of Islam. Now, Prophet Noble Drew Ali wrote a letter specifically to Brother Lomax Bey, all right? And he said, be very careful of propaganda and news that you hear. There is a certain movement from the churches to destroy our movement and dishonor me, and that there's men paid by Europeans and Asiatics, and that you receive, let me know the message. Then I will know that you are a Moor, and I favor Moors. We Moors must stand in unity. We stand together according to deeds and actions and not to words of lips. This letter is to be read to the temple. The 8th of January is my birthday, all right? Now, notice I made mention of the fact that it was January the 8th, 1928. You know, where I spoke about that picture in which that Prophet Noble Ali showed that was in distress. That happened to have been his born day, his soul return. So I don't think that's coincidence. That's for those who, you know, understand the signs of distress. Most people, when they look at that picture, they don't pick that up.
No, I saw that. I always wondered about that. Keep on going, more.
Right. So we know that later Supreme Grand Governor James Lomax becomes Professor Izzeldin Muhammad, you know, and he wrote that letter to Noble Ali wrote that letter to him December 27th, 1928. Yet 2 months later, they attended a meeting on February the 15th, 1929, where Supreme Grand Governor James Lomax Ben stated that he was now in power, and the finances was now in his front. That was now withheld in front of 50 members, and he brought charges to the prophet, claiming that the prophet embezzled $8,000. When in reality, it was Supreme Grand Governor Lomax Bey who embezzled the $8,000 from the prophet and the Moorish Finance Temple of America with the help of Supreme Business Manager Claude Green Bay. Was attempting to set up Prophet Noble Ali charges and stage a coup to take over the movement. All right? So Supreme Business Manager Claude Green Bay and Supreme Grand Governor James Lomax Bay accused the prophet of spending funds, allegedly on extracurricular activity. But by this time, the prophet movement boasts more than 100,000 followers. And his annual salary was listed at $36,000, which was a fortune at that time, of course. But allegedly, the prophet received additional stipends for his living expenses, including the mortgage payment for his Chicago home and salary for his chauffeur, maid, butler, and other, attendants. Now, allegedly, he kept several wives. Now, this is what is being said. And a host of concubines and fathered at least 20 children. Now, when he taught that, this is what they were saying. Now, this is what we come to find out more so is that Prophet Noble Ali was also the founder of the Moorish Manufacturing Corporation, which produced remedies, herbal remedies, such as the mineral and oil, the antiseptic bath compound, and the Moorish. Also, his followers began to establish a variety of businesses and business enterprises, including restaurants, grocery stores, furniture stores, clothing stores, laundromat, real estate firms, etc. And you can get this information from the Moorish Guide, also the Moorish Review and the Moorish Voice. All right, but this is what took place, and so we find that Supreme Business Manager Claude Green had a special meeting with Supreme Grand Governor James Lomax about removing the prophet, placing Supreme Grand Governor James Lomax as the new head, and that's what happened. And even started his own organization. And if necessary, it was believed by them that the Supreme Grand Governor James Lomax had enough followers in Detroit, and Supreme Business Manager Claude Green Bay had enough followers, including Grand Sheik Small Bay, Supreme Secretary Pearl Drew Ali, and ADAC Charles Kirkman Bay to pull it off. So these were the conspirators. All right. The original members of the Supreme Grand Chairman of the council. You had the Supreme. Let me just say it like this: you had the original members of the Supreme Grand Council. That was Prophet Noble Ali, Brother George Blackwell Bay, out of Chicago, Illinois. You had Brother Richard Ross Bay from Chicago, Illinois. You also had Governor Grant, Detroit, Michigan, Temple number 4. You had Governor E. Millie Ill, all right, who became the Supreme Grand Sheik of the MSTA, and from out of Chicago, Illinois, Temple number 1. All right. The Claude Green, Chicago, Illinois, Temple number 1. You had Sister Pearl Drew Ali, Chicago, Illinois, Temple number 1. So the Supreme position was Supreme Grand Governor, Supreme Grand Sheik, Supreme Business Manager, Supreme Grand Grand Chairman, Supreme Historian, the Supreme Treasurer, and Supreme Secretary. Nevertheless, we come to find out that James Lomax Bay, Claude Green Bay, Smalls Bay believe that they have followers from Temple number 3, 4, 7, 9, 15, and 18. So when the prophet heard about this coup and held a special meeting with the Supreme Grand Council, who issued a proclamation signed by Prophet Noble Ali, you had T. Crumley Bay, C. Charles Bay, removing 4 members in the James Lomax Bay, Claude Green Bay, Pearl Drew Ali, and Small Bay immediately, having all and dismissed them from their official positions and enrollment. All right? So the prophet changed the Supreme Grand Council around, the board of directors. Okay? Mm-hmm. And so you'll see these things taking place when you start doing more research and study.
Honest to the good Dr. Alim. Supreme honors to the doctor. And that was Canaanland Moors on Searching for More with Brother Kudrow and Dr. Alim. Hating on the prophet just because they can. I'll put this out again, because before we were talking about Moorish, whatever, we were cultural educators of Toronto, and there's still black guys. We had Alim out here. We had Mother Kadira out here. Right. We were black guys. Before we were declared Moors. And that's how we started. Because Dr. Alim and Kadira El Bey visited Toronto, Canaanland, on the Moorish tags with the Washita paperwork. And that's how we knew this Moorish stuff was real. And said, we're definitely gonna bring you back here so we could find about this Moorish stuff. There's receipts right here. Everybody out here knows cultural educators of Toronto.
master teachers. Just because they say it doesn't make it true. What do we have right here? This is some paperwork from Cujo Adwa Suit Tech L. And if you notice, can I get myself a little bit? Suit Tech L is the same Suit Tech as you see on this book. You know, Cujo's godbrother, Alim El Bey, the master teacher, the one that has the Freemasonry in this book, the one that is misquoting and changing the quote of Noble Drew Ali in this book, the one that was talking about the Moorish Holy Temple signs of the world, Craig, and the, what was the other one? It was another name, those organizations, this same Cujo. Now let's zoom in. Let me get me off the screen so we can see clearly, because this is important. Okay, political status. You see at the top, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Divine and National Movement, Affidavit, Declaration of Nationality.
So let's give you some timestamps so you can put this together, right? Let's give you some timestamps. Now, right. So you can see right here, sworn, notary public, sworn to me this day, August 22nd, 2008. Right. So this paperwork is what we brought back with us from the Moors over there near Mecca. They said, what you do, take this paperwork, this is 2008, take this paperwork and go to the notary and see if they'll notarize it. If they do notarize it, after that, you just start using your seal and don't use their seal anymore, so that we could be the ones now starting to seal our documents. Because in the rule of seals, the last thing on the page is what it should be, and anything after that is a fraud. So the notary public had a spot for him to put his stuff. But it's not for authority. It's so that whoever gets it would see the notary thing and they're not even going to question anything. So when you went there, the notary said, well, I can't take anything other than driver's license or passport or whatever like that. But the paperwork is not saying any name that's on. Put down the passport, put down the license at the time, and put down the nationality card. And then the notary, right, the notary public, as the signature of Cujo Adwo Sutek L, formally. Why did I say formally? Because he understood anybody has a right to a nationality and they could change their nationality at any time. And now, guarantee, if any Moors go to notary with nationality card, I bet you they do it for you. Than before they're going to fight you. Out here, we're talking about. Because notaries told us that it was unseen. This is unseen. I'm going to witness it because, like, you put down your 25 notes. But this is unseen. I've never seen any paperwork like this before. Now, this is what we brought back with us. That it's still on the record that in 08, we were going to notaries. They were acknowledging nationality card. They were acknowledging our seal on the document. Because why would he notarize it? Why would he notarize it? If it's not legit, if the Moorish anything isn't what it is, then why would he notarize it? Because you have a right. You have certain rights that people can't tell you that you can't. We didn't know that at the time. We think we're going to him to get something. Because the notary, remember 08, we just got into the info. This 08 just got into the info. These more just said do something. We're just gonna go do it. We have no knowledge of what's going on. This was all trial. See what impact this has out here. Right? We don't go notaries anymore. We just use witnesses now because we've raised in the knowledge. So this stuff that they're pulling online from 08, that doesn't apply to now. I'm not using that paperwork now as something. It's still a reference of us having this activity going on since 08. Yeah, there's probably some repetitive things in that paperwork that we would be saying today. But don't these people play you and think they pull some stuff online about somebody from 20 years ago that everything applies. Everything on that applies now. You probably haven't used me. Probably haven't heard me say Kudro Sutek L in probably since 2010 or something. But if I can show you nationality card, that's saying Kudro Adwa L, no Sutek L. How are they telling you that I'm Sutek? And what's crazy? Let's go back again. Because let's go back again. That's interesting. It's interesting.
And this is about the facts and why we have to follow Noble Ali's teachings. Please don't just listen to these people that are claiming to be grand sheiks, claiming to be master teachers. Just because they say it doesn't make it true. What do we have right here? This is some paperwork from Kujo Adwa Suit Tech L. And if you notice, let me, can I get myself a little bit? Suit Tech L is the same Suit Tech as you see on this book.
Right. And then as you see on, and keep in mind, this is 0506. This is 0506. He's talking about something from 08. Right? Now watch what's going on here. Right? Heru Ma Ku Su Tek. Heru Ma Ku Su Tek. Right? Heru Ma Ku Su Tek and Ray. The reason why Su Tek,
Cujo's god brother.
the reason why Su Tek was after Cujo Adwo, because Su Tek is what Dr. Alim presented for us who were of higher thinking. For those of us who are of higher thinking and wasn't ready to let go yet of certain things, Suit Tech is black power. Suit Tech is black power. When I did that paperwork, I was still a black guy. It's 08. We ain't even touch anything yet. We're fresh. Young, fresh, and green. Know nothing. And there's a way that we can say black power without saying black. That's how black power we were. And then we started saying Suit Tech. And then it never caught on because all these dummies still saying black power today. And they're the ancient Kemetic whoever's. Just let you know that these people are playing games and they just refuse to listen to the Moors. Because Dr. Alim put them on. Instead of saying black power, say Suit Tech. If you're ancient Egyptian and all that stuff, why would you say black power? Why don't you just say what the ancient foremothers and forefathers say? It's Suit Tech. That's why Suit Tech is there. Because we took it from the phrase that Dr. Alim El-Bey coined so that the black guys could start saying something that actually has power in it. But they weren't hearing him because he was a Moor. And they don't listen to Moors. They only listen to their nigger leaders. And if they were saying Suit Tech from the time that Dr. Alim Bey brought that to them, at one of the little university black whatevers, and they didn't adopt it, well, if they adopted it, where do you think the stuff would have been? Where do you think black power would have been right now if they said Suit Tech instead of black power? I'm pretty sure it'll be further where it is right now. I bet you it'll be way further than it is right now. Right? Like you really think that some paperwork from 08 is what it is? And then I'm really hiding Suit Tech from people. That's why I don't use it and all that stuff. Like I'm not black power anymore. I evolved. Like I evolved now. I know better. Even to say it in comedic language is messed up. Because you say suit tech, soot, S-U-T, is the S-O-O-T, the stuff you find in the chimney and all that. Soot. It's where the modern suit comes from, soot. And that couldn't work either. So stop using it. That's just evolution of the being. Like that, you know what I mean? You're going to cast away the childish things eventually. You don't need certain stuff, you know what I mean? It's evolution. But just like there's evolution, there's devolution. And some people just keep devolving, as you're seeing right now. Eyes sinking more and more in and falling deeper and deeper in the pit that they dug for themselves. Because they're mad that they're not active. They're mad that they don't have influence. Right. And he doesn't even have no hip-hop temple. There's not even anything. Right? And again, having paperwork, right? Having paperwork from the Moorish Science Temple of America, that was unheard of in 08. Because all Moorish Science Temple is going to do is give you a little paper card, put your name on it, and then that means you're a Moor. But then you're going out here and you still got to deal with nigger stuff. And then, well, you're not really supposed to be doing that because you're supposed to be wearing your fez in the temple and all that type of stuff was going on in Chicago in 08 with Moorish Science Temple. And again, that was evolution. That was Moors thinking on a higher plane. Now, hold on a second. We got Cook's County Recorder right there where Noble Drew Ali put stuff in there. Why don't we go there and start filing stuff? And then they shut that down. Can't even go there to go file stuff. Can't even go to a county recorder anymore. Right. So this was Moorish Science Temple of America paperwork. Remember, this is 08. We showed you the receipt. That's 08. Moorish Science Temple of America with paperwork that has been used by Moors prior to us.
Aline Mel Bay, the master teacher. Affidavit, Declaration of Nationality for the Indigenous Moorish American Nationals of the Continental Al-Marak Republic and adjoining islands. Now, just to be clear, Noble Drew Ali never said anything about some Continental Al-Marak Republic.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. But Moors that are studying, they're going to apply it. If it works, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, discard it and keep it moving. Not that serious.
Not at once, okay? And for the record, never actually identified us as quote unquote indigenous Moorish American nationals.
Yeah, but he's Cherokee. So if he's Cherokee, how is he not indigenous? And if you're in your own land and you're part of a nation, how are you not a national? Didn't Noble Drew Ali say declare your nationality? So if you have a nationality as Moorish American, how are you not a national? Oh, you have a nationality, but you're a citizen. That's what you're saying?
That's a whole nother term. But I want you to see focused at Sutek El. And then if you see right below that, I'm a flesh and blood natural person. That whole flesh and blood thing, that's not anything to do with Noble Drew Ali. That is some other sovereign citizen type teachings.
Isn't it sovereign citizen type teachings? Are you not flesh? Is anybody out there not flesh? Is anybody out there not blood? Tell me. Tell me who out there, if you're not flesh or blood, put a 1 in the comments. If you're not flesh or blood, put a 1 in the comment. The sovereign citizen stuff. How is flesh and blood sovereign citizen stuff? That's like saying 5-point star is Illuminati. How is a 5-point star Illuminati? That's Venus. How's Venus Illuminati? What are you talking about?
Okay? Now, the reason I really wanted to highlight this right here. You see? You see that right there? That website says newmoorishrepublic.com. Can you see that?
And that was 08. What year is it right now? What year is it? Actually, let's punch it in. Let's see what comes up if we punch it in. newmoorishrepublic.com. Let's see if somebody jacked it. Let's see if anything's on here. newmoorishrepublic.com. Site can't be reached. So is this relevant? That's him stopping and saying, hey, look at this website right here. And then you pull up the website and nothing's there. What does that tell you? What's that tell you? Is anything credible then now on this? If the site's not even up there, then why would anything else apply? But this is what you call reaching. When you're reaching when you can't reach, the key's right there, you're trying to get out the cell and then you just can't reach. And your fingertips are just nicking it and you just can't get there no matter what you do. Reaching. Right. They know what they're doing. So we just wanted to remind you. Because it seems like people forgot. And they're still getting played. Honors to all the Moors. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the mothers Honors to all the Moors who've been riding with Canaanland Moors from day one. Honors to all of you who've been riding with Canaanland Moors since the jump. And honors to all you who are going to be coming home. Peace and love to all the Moors. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all mothers. Islam.
The definition of hypocrisy, the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's...
Oh, and I forgot. Cush, you made it. Cush Day, you made the list.
This is from Cush Day. Now I don't know this man. This man doesn't know me. I don't understand why Moors seem to want to talk so disrespectful. I mean, I don't understand it. I come with love. That's what I'm always talking about, love instead of hate. He says Rami's whole act is deteriorating quicker than a cut can bleed. Give it up, traitor. I don't know what am I a traitor of? But the thing that the other stuff I don't really care about, but it's really like the dummy part.
Let me read the other stuff. How are you, a so-called GS, and don't know that North America is a continent? Which includes so-called Canada, dummy. He didn't even go through all that. He went straight to dummy. You heard his feelings here.
But the thing that the other stuff I don't really care about, but it's really like the dummy part. I said, why you gotta call me a dummy? You know what I mean? That is, why would you do that? That makes sense to me. You know what I mean? I didn't understand where was this energy coming from. And then I found a picture of him in Savoia Bay, and then, we got some other things coming, but I said, oh, okay. He's connected with the guy up in Canada. They have an issue with me because I'm speaking about certain things. I get it. You know what I mean? But this is the thing I want to tell Cush Day and, other Moors that you may disagree with me or disagree with other people. You ain't got to be disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's not cool. It's not noble. It's not righteous.
You big dummy. You big dummy. Cush, you made it.
The definition of hypocrisy, the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. So basically it means talking the talk, but not walking the walk. So by this definition, Rami Salamel is a hypocrite.
Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salamel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. For new Moors that are watching this right now, people that are just coming into this Moorish information, please listen closely. Don't believe what I say. I encourage you to look up everything that you see, everything that you hear, and most importantly, judge everything based off of what Noble Drew Ali said. Why? Because he is a prophet. I'm not claiming to be a prophet. I'm not the leader or the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali. We're supposed to be following his lead, and we gotta stick to that principle. And also understand that as we go through this is about principle. For for Moors that have been aware about this information, I encourage you to listen to what I'm saying. Don't believe what I'm saying. Hold me accountable. If I said something that was incorrect, please inform me. Let me know where I was mistaken, if I made an error in any place.
Isn't it fascinating how he speaks in this soft voice and with gentle hand gestures to try and make you think he is being sincere? Then he throws in a, "Don't believe what I say, go research it for yourself." The catchphrase that we all use, hoping to give what we are saying some credibility. The difference is, some people use that catchphrase knowing that some of our people are lazy and won't research the info and take what they say at face value, while others that use that catchphrase actually really want you to research what is being said. Rami, on the other hand, is actually manipulating that catchphrase by adding a twist to it. He is hoping that you do go and research what he said, because if you do, you will find what he mentioned. The twist comes where he knows you won't research further than what he said to see where his hypocrisy lies. He is hoping you think the Moor with his soft voice and gentle hand gestures seems so kind. He has to be sincere and completely honest. Rami is also constantly encouraging the listener to judge everything that he says based on what Prophet Noble Drew Ali says. This is a twist on the catchphrase that a lot of these same Moors use. We are bringing what Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought. Once again with a soft voice and gentle hand gestures, and hoping that Moors that are less studied think he is telling the truth and being sincere. And then he proceeds to read from Prophet Noble Drew Ali's warning to the nation.
But to answer the question, why does Rami care so much? Why is he making these videos? Why is he talking about what Cujo do? Why does he care so much about what Cujo is saying and doing? Let me explain. It's what Noble Drew Ali said. The Prophet warns all Muslims to be read in every meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. We're gonna get to that later. It says a little further down.
Once again, reading in a soft voice and with gentle hand gestures. And when he reads the part stating, "We are for peace and not destruction," he pauses and looks into the camera for dramatic effect. All this is to manipulate the viewer into thinking he is honorable.
We are for peace and not destruction.
But what he fails to realize is, with Moors that actually study, we don't have to go that deep into Noble Drew Ali's literature to see Rami's clear violation and hypocrisy. It is very simple. All we have to do is use something that pretty much every Moor should have in their possession. The divine constitution of Moorish America. Let's work backwards and start with Act 5 of the Divine Constitution of Moorish America. Act 5 reads, "No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby." The question that Moors ask about Act 5 is, which said government, laws, and constitution is the Prophet speaking about? The thing is, if the Prophet told us to enforce the Constitution, and the Constitution is the supreme law of the land in every country on the planet, then we are to enforce the Constitution of the said government in any land that we domicile, including our own divine Constitution of Moorish America. And this is why we are not to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. This is universal. So let's go to the Constitution of the United States of America and read the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment reads, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." This is what Rami won't tell you. He won't tell you that Rise of the Moors is not breaking any laws. He won't tell you that Rise of the Moors is not going against the divine constitution of Moorish America. He won't tell you that Rise of the Moors is not going against the Constitution of the United States of America. What Rami is hoping is that his soft voice and gentle hand gestures will manipulate you into thinking he is correct in what he is saying about Rise of the Moors, all while saying,
"We have to be true, I can't be hypocritical."
So Rise of the Moors is not breaking any constitutional laws of the United States of America, nor any constitutional laws of the divine constitution of Moorish America. And, so far, neither is Rami. Now let's move up to Act 4 of the divine constitution of Moorish America. Act 4 reads, all citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government, and must live the life accordingly. This is where Rami's hypocrisy is apparent, because this is where his second violation appears. Now, of course, Rami violating Act 4 may not be obviously clear to many. So for that clarity, let's go to Act 3 of the divine constitution of Moorish America. Act 3 reads, love, truth, peace, freedom and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Once again, no citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Rami put out a video claiming that Rise of the Moors are domestic terrorists. Let me repeat that again. Rami put out a video claiming that Rise of the Moors are domestic terrorists. That is the absolute height of falsely accusing his brother or sister and putting them in a dangerous life-threatening position. The absolute height. All while trying to manipulate the viewer into thinking he is correct, because he is talking in a soft voice and with gentle hand gestures. This is absolutely disgusting. Rami is not only falsely accusing Rise of the Moors with his insinuation, but also putting Rise of the Moors, their family and children in harm's way. Just think about this for a moment. What does the United States government do with so-called domestic terrorists? Here, let's let Rami tell you.
Because this is not a game. And for those watching that may not understand why I'm coming at it like this, let me break it down. The U.S. government, particularly the FBI, is calling people in the sovereign citizens domestic terrorists. They are calling people in the sovereign citizen movement, people that call themselves sovereign citizens or promote sovereignty or even try to use that kind of logic, that kind of thinking. They are labeling, classifying those kinds of people, those groups, as domestic terrorists. Why is this important? Well, what is the U.S. doing to terrorists all around the world? So-called terrorists. Be it the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, so-called ISIS, whatever group they want to create. I mean, this out there, not that they created it. But what are they doing? Bombing them, going after them, sending thousands of troops, billions and trillions of dollars. War. A war on terrorism. So, if they're doing that to people over there, what do you think they're going to do to domestic terrorists? You think it's going to be all peaches and rainbows and flowers and daisies? No, it's not. And the people that are trying to associate Moors and Moorish Americans to sovereign citizens are thereby trying to associate us and classify us as domestic terrorists, so that the U.S. government and those three-letter agencies can bring war on us. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet.
So Rami knows exactly what he's doing, and the danger that he is causing to a fellow Moor, the Moor's wife, and children, yet clearly does not care. And to make things worse, the title of his video is Moorish Americans Do Not Support, insinuating that all Moorish Americans agree with his hypocrisy and deliberate violation of Act 3. all while attempting to put rise of the Moors on an island by themselves, and putting key trigger words in his video like real Moorish Americans, trying to manipulate the viewer into thinking that he is a real Moorish American, and that only real Moorish Americans agree with him. What the hell is a real Moorish American? All these violations cloaked in a soft voice, and with gentle hand gestures to try and pacify you and distract you from his absolute abhorrent tactics. Absolutely disgusting. So say what you want about Grand Sheik Cujo Adwoel, and how he speaks to people online, and how he is always talking about dirty Moors and traitors, etc. You have never heard him attempt to label a Moor anything that would bring a foreign corporate entity's military down on that Moor, his wife and children. Never. Even if the Moor was selling packages for $7,000, $10,000, or $20,000, Grand Sheik Cujo Adwoel never attempted to label a Moor anything that would bring a foreign corporate entity's military down on that Moor and his family. Never. But for some reason, Rami comes with his soft voice and gentle hand gestures, and this distracts some so-called studious Moors enough so that they do not recognize his supreme violation. Absolutely disgusting. This is a clear violation of Act 3 of the Divine Constitution of Moorish America, and thus by his violation of Act 3, he has automatically violated Act 4. And being that all constitutions are the supreme law of its respective land, the Divine Constitution of Moorish America is the supreme law of Moorish America. Rami did not even make it past Act 3 of our Divine Constitution. Yet Rami will say,
all true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by the prophet.
And
it have to be true. I can't be hypocritical.
Rami is being hypocritical. So Rami can't say what he wants about the Supreme Grand Council and what Grand Sheik Cujo is saying. But Rami did not even make it past Act 3 of the Divine Constitution of Moorish America. And no soft voice and gentle hand gestures or key catchphrases like,
don't believe what I say. I encourage you to look up everything that you see, everything that you hear.
And deny the fact that Rami blatantly put a fellow Moor, regardless of if he agrees with the other Moor's viewpoint or not, and his wife and child, in an environment to be severely violated by the United States government. Rami said it himself.
Because this is not a game. And for those watching that may not understand why I'm coming at it like this, let me break it down. The U.S. government, particularly the FBI, is calling people in the sovereign citizens domestic terrorists. They are calling people in the sovereign citizen movement, people that call themselves sovereign citizens or promote sovereignty or even try to use that kind of logic, that kind of thinking. They are labeling, classifying those kinds of people, those groups, as domestic terrorists. Why is this important? Well, what is the U.S. doing to terrorists all around the world? So-called terrorists. Be it the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, so-called ISIS, whatever group they want to create. I mean, it's out there, not that they created it. But what are they doing? Bombing them, going after them, sending thousands of troops, billions and trillions of dollars. War. A war on terrorism. So, if they're doing that to people over there, what do you think they're going to do to domestic terrorists? You think it's going to be all peaches and rainbows and flowers and daisies? No. No, it's not. And the people that are trying to associate Moors and Moorish Americans to sovereign citizens are thereby trying to associate us and classify us as domestic terrorists so that the U.S. government and those three-letter agencies can bring war on us.
That makes Rami the epitome of a hypocrite and a true sellout. Rami has the nerve to speak about El-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz, aka Malcolm X, and the NOI, and he knows that Minister Farrakhan admitted to creating the environment for El Hajj Malik al-Shabazz to be murdered. So Rami knows exactly what he is doing with Rise of the Moors. And we see through his soft voice and gentle hand gesture hypocrisy. Rami said it himself.
You know what you're doing. And justice will come to you. Not from me, not from any more, not from any human being. The Creator.
Rami will get his payback from Allah. So Rami can quote all the Prophet Noble Drew Ali quotes he wants. He can come in our chat while there is a live YouTube video happening and quote all the sayings from Noble Drew Ali. Just like a Christian church pastor, picking and choosing what quotes he can use to pacify his congregation, hoping that they won't see through his hypocrisy and BS. Hey Rami, here is a Bible quote for you. Proverbs 11, verse 9. A hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge the just shall be delivered. Nothing will change the fact that what Rami did is worse than any dirty Moor selling packages, worse than any so-called black people making videos attacking Moors, etc. Rami created an environment for a fellow Moor and his family to be fatally harmed, and if anything happens to Rise of the Moors, that will be on Rami's soul, because Rami knows exactly what he is doing. Rami said it himself.
You know what you're doing. We have to be true. I can't be hypocritical.
Rami is the epitome of a hypocrite and a sellout. Yuck.
So, and then Farrakhan apologized. He said, I'm sorry for making it, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I'm sorry for making it, for making the environment for it to be okay for him to be murdered. So now think, Rami Salam El, you fucking idiot, if you're for love so much, you think it's okay to put the phrase domestic terrorist and then put a fucking picture of me there? You idiot? What type of subliminal image are you putting in people's minds, you fucking idiot?
Yuck.
So, and then Farrakhan apologized. He said, I'm sorry for making it, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I'm sorry for making it, for making the environment for it to be okay for him to be murdered. So now think, Rami Salam El, you fucking idiot, if you're for love so much, you think it's okay to put the phrase domestic terrorist and then put a fucking picture of me there? You idiot? What type of subliminal image are you putting in people's minds, you fucking idiot?
Yuck.
So, and then Farrakhan apologized. He said, I'm sorry for making it, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I'm sorry for making it, for making the environment for it to be okay for him to be murdered. So now think, Rami Salam El, you fucking idiot, if you're for love so much, you think it's okay to put the phrase domestic terrorist and then put a fucking picture of me there? You idiot? What type of subliminal image are you putting in people's minds, you fucking idiot? He said, I'm sorry for making it, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I'm sorry for making it, for making the environment for it to be okay for him to be murdered. So now think, Rami Salam El, you fucking idiot, if you're for love so much, you think it's okay to put the phrase domestic terrorist and then put a fucking picture of me there? You idiot? What type of subliminal image are you putting in people's minds, you fucking idiot?